Good evening, everybody. I've got a very, very short 5 minutes to try and get across 2 years' worth of work. I'll give it a shot. Okay, so first of all, who am I? I'm James Eckhardt. I'm the founder and developer of Profitizely. I used to be a senior conversion optimization consultant at Conversion Rate Experts, who were generally known as being one of the leading CRO agencies in the world, generally known because of Google, Facebook, Vodafone, Sony as clients. I was very pleased to be one of their senior consultants. And since then, I've been developing Profitizely and also training conversion for e-marketeers, mainly to enterprise banks who are selling credit cards, insurance, things like that. And I happen to be a chartered accountant for my sins. We'll speak less about that as possible. So Profitizely is an algorithm that essentially automatically analyzes Google Analytics for e-commerce sites. It does the grunt work for you. It checks thousands of data points to find areas of underperformance, areas where traffic is not flowing through the site as well as it ought to be. And it estimates the additional profit that you'd be making if those areas of underperformance were fixed. So you're able to estimate whether it's worth spending your time and money providing conversion rate optimization resources at fixing the various problems. It essentially tells you, are there problems on this site or are there not major problems on the site? And if there are, how much additional profit am I likely to make by fixing those issues? And in addition to that, it also calculates the compound additional profit, the profit that you'd make by fixing more than one issue, and in this case, fixing all the issues. So you can see that if you fix one thing and another thing, you'll have 2 + 2 = 5. You'll get essentially a free bonus in terms of additional conversion rate and profit. So how does it work? Essentially, it uses the Google Analytics API, it requests and receives huge amounts of data, and it can do that because it custom generates regex code specifically tailored to every client that it works with. And it processes all that data to discover insights to increase specifically your conversion rate and your profit. It's not about traffic generation. There are lots of people doing that. It's specifically for improving conversion rate and profit from your investment in your traffic. So you get right now a 32-page report. The most important bit is a summary at the top, which provides you with a roadmap of all the potential issues on the site. And it gives you, therefore, a review in detail of each of the issues, so you can drill into what the problems particularly are. It gives you some appendices at the back, which gives you a whole bunch of data, including KPI information. And for those geeks among us, of which I'm included, 10 pages of detailed analysis with the report to support the maths that provided all the insights. And you get a call with, at the minute, me, to make sense of the data. So for an analytics geek, you'll see it straight away. You go, oh my God, there's a horrible problem here. But for people who are on the biz dev side of things, they need the numbers turned into meaningful understandings. And we'll go through a live example of that in a moment. So summary pages, here's an example of a summary page. It looks a bit like an accountant's report. It ultimately starts off explaining what the total sales for the site was, what the average margin was, how much of the money that they received do they get to keep in profit, how much have they spent on AdWords in this case, and therefore the profit that they got. The client will know how much profit they've made. And then probably the painful number, maybe the most opportunistic number is, this is how much additional profit you could have earned had all these issues been resolved. In this case, it's kind of eye-wateringly huge. And then that number, the eye-wateringly huge number, which in that case was £4 million, is broken down between the actual individual problems that are seen on the site and then that free multiplier effect, that free bonus that you get by fixing more than one issue. And so let's look at one in specific detail. So here is one of the specific issues. Remember, £2.8 million. Here's the roadmap. It's listed in order. So the most important ones, the ones that's likely to provide you with the most profit, is listed at the top. And we'll drill into this one, the second one. £940,000 of additional profit is available because there's a traffic flow problem on the men's category, i.e. in this case the men's clothes category. And if we drill down into it, we get into page 8, of course, a proper page, and it's saying of the £900,000 or so, if we can see here, this is the amount of additional profit that you get from traffic landing on the category pages, the subcategory pages, the catalog, there's the list pages, and the product pages. And we can see that there's additional profit is made by traffic landing on the product pages. And the problem is that they're specifically not able to get from a product page, CTR meaning into the basket. So somehow something's going wrong. The profit is available by looking at people who are landing on product pages and they can't get through from a product page into the basket. And here's specifically the numbers, looking at the performance of it. If we drill down onto the area we're interested in, we can see that we've got a 4% of the traffic that reaches a product page clicks into the basket, only 4%. And often a benchmark number would be about 15. In this site, if we look at the traffic that's coming on into product pages, from other areas on the site that's landing on other pages, we can see that those traffic that's landed on a list page, for example, is clicking through to the basket at 7%. Or even earlier, traffic that's landing on a category page, the men's clothes category page, that will click through to the basket at 8% once they've reached a product page. But here we've only got 4. Something is wrong. So we want to take a look at what's going on. We're seeing that there's an opportunity there. So in the real world, we'd look at the site with the client. This is an actual site, anonymized with a brand taken off. And what we can see is that as you scroll down, imagine you're a visitor who landed on this page. You're probably thinking, okay, this is an interesting pair of men's trousers, but maybe I want to take a look at something in a different shape or a different color. But on the page, there is no navigation to take a look at similar products or of the same type. We've got a link through to a hat and a t-shirt. But it's very, very difficult for someone who's landed on a product page then to navigate through from having landed on that page. So really the data is providing you an insight as to what the problems might be, how much additional profit you're likely to make from focusing on those specific areas. In addition to traffic flow, and I'm over time already, Mitch is going to kill me, we take a look at the checkout performance, looking at how traffic runs through the checkout process, whether you're a guest, you're a new account owner, or you're a returning customer. We're taking a look at desktop browser performance, including about 25 different desktop variations, and looking at how each desktop browser is flowing through the funnel and identifying what the particular problems may be. We look at, again, mobile and tablet performance, locating particular problems, returning visitor rates, international visitor performance, how people who are coming from other countries rather than the native country of the site are performing. And of course, we have a suite of key performance indicators looking at the data for the last 3 years on a monthly basis, looking for sudden drop-offs of any of the key, I have 7 fundamental key performance indicators that reconcile to profit. So you can tell whether they may have been an upgrade to the site that may have caused a problem on any of the KPIs, or a gradual decay that may have occurred over time. So unique benefits, as far as I know, it's the only tool of its kind to provide additional profit estimation. It provides a roadmap of opportunities. It's significantly cheaper than getting a freelance to do this work for you, because in my mind it would take about 5 to 6 weeks to do the analysis, and that can cost a lot of money. Instead of taking 5 to 6 weeks, it only takes about 3 to 5 days. It will soon take about 1 day. So if you're an agency or you're a site and you've got a seasonal period coming up, you need the data quickly, this is one way of getting it. And I provide a money-back guarantee on all our work, so if you weren't completely happy, you get your money back. And it's the only tool of its kind where, in addition to getting the data, you get a conversion expert making sense of the data to see what kind of split testing or what changes you ought to make that the data is pointing to. Here's some of the clients that's used it initially while we were in beta. And the fees of the product is initially £1,000 for getting the report initially, plus the setup for the regex code. All additional reports are £500 each. And if you have over 250,000 visits, then the price is double that. You get included to that a screen sharing call, as I said, with me, money back guarantee, and no commitment to subscribe, and you can cancel the course at any time. And if anybody from here or watching at home wants one of these, they can get a 20% off their first report if they're interested.